In Minecraft Skyblock, automation is very crucial, so that is why today we're going to be advancing on my current setup and making it even better than it was before. But before we get into this, if you are a part of the 90% of people that watch my videos that are not subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you considered subscribing. But with all of that out of the way, let's hop right into this. We need to go ahead and start moving around our current setup for automation right now because that is a kind of messy setup we have currently. I also did go ahead and purchase some enriched coal nodes off of the auction house just so we can get a lot more coal. As you can see, we have a ton here, and I have done a little bit else as well. I've made an extraction gear chest, and of course I put all our recipes in their designated chests as well, which we do have Fisher's pot pie. And I do want to set up recipes today, and I think this is probably our best bet to go for this, if we can automate fish or not. I don't really know if we can, but we'll see. We're gonna claim it anyways, and we're currently working on getting the scribe salmon roll, which also requires fish and chicken with custom recipe. As you can see, if you click on the recipe, you can actually see what they require and how you get them. It's pretty useful to know this. Oh yeah, and we're also island level 12 now, so that means we have unlocked spiders and silverfish, which is a mutated spawner, which I don't really know how we get those. So I'll have to figure that out at some point on how we get mutated spawners, but I've gathered a ton of resources for us to set up some automation here. I think our best way to actually get the fish that we're looking for is using a fisher bot, so we're gonna set something up like that. One thing is the island radius has expanded, so I am just gonna quickly go ahead, fill in this chunk because it's gonna be our fisher area as well. We need a fishing area. All right, we'll go into shop, get a little bit more stone, fill this all in, and there we go. Okay, so now that I'm thinking about it, we're gonna leave this little corner here, but we're gonna fill in the rest of this chunk. I think that's a good idea because we're gonna put the fishing farm in the corner, the very corner of this chunk. So if I go ahead, place down a fisher bot, they now have a trident since I last played, which makes sense. You're using a trident to kill the fish instead of a fishing rod. So if we go here to the attributes, as you can see, it's a 2-block out radius from where it's standing. So we have it in a perfect spot actually, which is good. We're gonna face it this way though. We're gonna go into shop and we're gonna buy some wood, make a little outline, and then we should be good here. So now that I'm realizing we don't put it in the center, we're gonna put it on the side. And how many bots can we have down already? Because I kind of want to just go all in on fishers, because for this recipe we need cooked rabbit, which we can just kill with a auto slayer. So we're gonna check the auction house. They're pretty cheap. They're a little bit expensive, but not like crazily. All right, we got 5 hoppers here. That's also gonna be good. We need to place them on each and every one. I am gonna fill these up with blocks so they don't overflow with fuel. I feel like that's a good option realistically. And our plan is to build a ton of different things and then use tubes like this with the glass and funnel all this fuel around the island. That is basically it. It's gonna look insane. We're gonna make a temporary water pool, so we're just gonna go here, 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 and here. Boom, boom. Water pool is done. So now we can just start putting in all this water. And if you guys do ever buy anything on the Cosmic store for Cosmic Sky, make sure to use my creator code. It is quite literally my branding name. So we're gonna start making our funnel here, and eventually it's gonna go this way. We'll put other automation over there, but for now we're gonna have it funnel all the way around, and it's gonna go to, I think, right here. So we gotta kind of line this all up. We're gonna have to move a lot of things around, but it's gonna be worth it. All right, we put in the glass on one side and then we do it on the other side, and there we go. Island level 21. The next day of fund has unlocked. But if we look in chat here, everyone's hit island level 21. That is crazy. So we're gonna get rid of the storage for the chickens quickly, and then all this extra fuel we'll hold on to for now. We're just gonna block this off, and one key block you do need for this is blue ice. The reason for that is pretty simple. It's to make sure the items travel quicker, and when you put a sign down, it doesn't actually stay in one place. It'll travel along that one block if you have a sign. I'll give an example of what I mean here. So we're gonna buy some signs, put one of the signs down right here, and it should travel along there still to that block, which is good. Oh yeah, and we need a water bucket. I just realized. What am I doing? We'll put water right here. There we go. So now I just gotta keep going ahead, placing in water, and then we're gonna flow it all the way over to there. Put a sign down, place more water, and we should get our first little bit of fuel going into these. There we go. So it says there's no nearby bait blocks. That is because we actually have to place those in, which now reminds me the water has to be full sources. If we look at island fishing, we need to work towards salmon, so we're gonna work on cod first. We're gonna get like, I think we'll do 5, or no, we'll do 10, and then we'll let that do its thing. Apparently you can put a bait block on the actual fisher, which is good, so you can actually use that to your advantage. And then we have 2 more spots that we're gonna use for cod. Grab 2 more of these bait blocks and we should be good. Bam, bam. So now when they spawn in, these fishers are gonna go ahead and kill them, and of course they're all gonna start fueling up with coal fuel, but now we're getting the cod. Let's go. We should be done fishing way sooner than I was expecting. Yeah, we already have 8 kills. So after getting this working, I have figured out that we can make this even more optimized. I think I know what I need to do. As you can see, we have them in 4 different spots, 2 blocks apart on each fisher, so that means they will get the maximum amount of fish placed in their area. That's what we need. We now have our setup complete. We will put these 2 fishers in eventually, but basically we're gonna have a zigzag going along here, and then we'll have more automation, which I'm not sure what it's gonna be yet, maybe like harvesters or something, but either way, that means we can actually have 6 fishers now, which is gonna be good. So here's an aerial view of the design. As you can see, the fuel is going across all the way through all of them, and of course we have the fish down here. I've laid out the area. We just have to go ahead, place back in this spot, and start getting all the fish that we want to place in. All the cod is placed in. Now we're gonna do salmon. I'm pretty sure, yeah, we have it unlocked, so it's letting us place it, and now I'm realizing that it has to be in a different checkered pattern. Okay, all right, we're placing in the salmon, and we're done. The salmon and the cod. I am gonna quickly sell all my loot because my inventory is full. Now that we have fish complete, we are gonna make a storage for the time being. All right, we go to fishing and put those 2 in, and now all the loot should start going into their designated collection chests there. There we go. It is all going in. Okay, so I went ahead and bought another auto fisher. We can actually place 6 in, which is good. So now we will have these guys running as well, and they're in the same chunk, as you can see. The thing is, we don't really have any fishing upgrades on these. I am gonna put in the one I have, and looking on the auction house, there's literally no tier 1s. Oh my gosh. They are quite literally rare. Oh my. We'll buy a tier 2 just for this guy because he's already a tier 1, might as well. And now it's just a waiting game until we can get pufferfish in our island fishing, which shouldn't take too long, but I am gonna take a quick break, and I will give an update here in a moment. So it's been around a day or so since I recorded the last little bit of the video, and as you can see, we now have salmon on all of these bots, and they all have fishing upgrade tier 2. I've been buying a lot of the upgrades off the auction house, and I set up an auto sell bot to sell all the fish on its own. Since I set it up, I haven't actually removed it, and it's about 100,000 every 24 hours roughly from just this little bit alone and from the lower tier fish. But if we look here, we can actually replace these with pufferfish, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. It's just a matter of breaking all of these, which is gonna be a little bit tedious, but I think we're good now. All right, there we go. We have gotten rid of the salmon. We need 25 pufferfish, which we have a ton from doing a lot of adventuring. All right, let's go ahead and start placing all these in, and I have to place them in the right spots so that we can get all the pufferfish. I'm curious if our fuel is gonna go ahead and like burn out, or if it's gonna keep running very consistent. We're definitely gonna have to see how this performs, because it goes from the lower tier fish, and then it's gonna put all the excess fuel into over here, and if it burns through that too quickly, then I don't know what we can do. And also in the sell bot, as you can see, it's about to sell here. We went up a decent bit of money. It sells every 25 minutes because I have a tier 2 upgrade in here, which gives a 15% sell price bonus, which is even better. So I'm glad I have that upgrade on that. We're definitely gonna have to put a lot of things funneling into here so we can get a lot of currency. My guess is the pufferfish is actually going to bring in a ton of island XP, but I'm not 100% certain. But anyways, I want to move the Slayer setup to its own little area, and we're gonna put them on cows now. All right, we break this, and then we're gonna need signs again. I do like how the automation works this map. It is quite fun, I can't lie. So from my observation, I think we have a full loop going. Let's take a look, see if this works, and there we go. It is working as intended. You love to see it. The Slayer's in place. Now we're just gonna go ahead and set up the cow spawners. We're gonna get rid of these chickens. I'm probably gonna sell a ton of these. All right, we'll grab the cows out. We got about over a stack or so, which should hopefully be enough. At least I hope. All right, we got cows to spawn. We're gonna put them right there. So now for the collection system, we don't want to actually put it on the sell bot. We're gonna smelt all the loot and put it in a chest system here. So what I'm going to do is grab a ton of furnaces here, and we're gonna set up a furnace system. And also, I just remembered a good way to save some hoppers is putting honey blocks. So the reason you put honey blocks is they kind of seep through the items on the edge, which is really good to know when you're trying to make some automation systems and want to save some materials. So we're gonna go all the way along on this side, and there we go. So now we only need 3 hoppers instead of replacing the glass underneath. We can go along here, and it should feed into here if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's going all in. So we're gonna use 2 collection chests. We do need a little bit more hoppers actually. All right, get all these, boom, and put them all here. And then now, hey, we unlocked Frog. Let's go. What island level do we need for that? Level 10, so we can actually place those in. automation. We'll replace the cod. That's what we'll do. Let's of course finish this up first. Collection chest, and then we're gonna just do the raw beef here, and then we're also going to have a hopper system going along here. Put some hoppers going this way, and we need a little bit more. We need about 4. So that is about 2 science gold. So we'll go into shop, convert that over again, and we should be good. So now all the steak will be going into here, and then we're also going to have it where we put a collection chest here. So let's put it down, and it's going to collect all the excess loot that doesn't need smelting. So it's going to be the leather and the milk, and there we go. We got a automated cow system. It's just a matter if the fuel will keep up, which I hope it does. I'll have to do some testing, and if I can't keep up with it, I will disable it at some point. But on another note, I do have to move my alt account over, and now it should render all the cows and spawn them in. So I just got rid of all the cod. Now we're gonna go put in the frogs, which we don't have a lot of. We need 10 more. And of course, there are some on the auction house, and a way better deal for those ones. Okay, half the price. So now we have all the frogs put in. That's gonna test our fuel a ton. Also, I forgot to mention, I put a tier 1 crafting bot upgrade on the crafter bot because it now actually crafts all the coal and it doesn't overflow with the enriched coal and a tier 1 bot upgrade, so it works out pretty well to do it this way. But anyways, I want to make sure this all runs smoothly, so I am going to give an update on if things are breaking or working. We'll see what happens. I will give an update here in a bit. So it's been a day almost since the last clip, and we're going to give a rundown on everything that has changed here. So first of all, we have axolotls placed down since we're island level 15 now. I did that so we can have that done. I also did fix the chest system here. I didn't realize I needed more hoppers, so I moved them down and added more storage. It was technically the same amount of storage, just a little fix with the hoppers. And as you can see, I actually moved the whole system upwards, and I made a system where the coal fuel will go up and then it goes around and drops back down again so that we can fuel the coal, because I did put a tier 2 upgrade on here and made a full rotation. So now it's making a ton of coal fuel with a tier 2 upgrade on the crafter, so we never run out of fuel realistically. The only downside is occasionally some fuel will get spit onto the side here or down here because of the piston, but this is the best option I could think of currently without having to buy a, I believe, teleport pad. So I bought some redstone timers in the science shop, which is pretty useful. But yeah, we're now getting axolotl hearts from the axolotls. We don't have many of them, and I did replace the pufferfish with just straight up frogs. And with how much we're making here in production wise of coal and regular fuel, it seems it's keeping up pretty well for now until we get to iron fuel, which is going to be probably next video as well. Since at level 15, I think you can actually use link chests. You just need the island upgrade. So we are going to go ahead and purchase that. I did have to also purchase this, which is to place redstone and pistons. So I got that. And then the automation here, yeah, it's actually level 16. So next video we'll have electricity, teleport pads, and linked ender chests, which is going to be amazing. I didn't realize teleport pads were one of the things in there, so that's good to know. But you can see, yeah, the fuel spitting on the ground, it's kind of inconvenient, but it gets the job done for how much is being produced. Before we go ahead and end off the video, we're going to quickly go ahead and harvest all of the sweet berries. Technically just take them down, not even harvest them. And the reason we're doing this is because we're going to put in pitcher pods for more manual XP that I can grind off camera. I've been doing a lot of grinding of XP off camera, which has been really good so far. The potatoes on the top layer have been making the most because it's the most recent crop we have obtained. And looking at island farming, we could probably get rid of our potatoes and replace with pitcher pods and then put down some carrots. So I'm gonna actually do that. We're gonna go ahead, start harvesting these for the XP, and then we'll just prepare the carrot area and I'll place those off camera, but we will place the pitcher pods now once we get all this harvested. All right, we're done that. Now we gotta go ahead and break every single one of these. And the thing is with pitcher pods, they are too tall when they fully grow. So if we make another layer of farms up above, there won't be any problem. And it's good that we're putting it on the top because it would kind of be a mess down here trying to actually farm the other crops like the glowberries. All right, pitcher pods are done. We had a little over a stack and a half extra of pitcher pods, so that is good. We have that done with, which means we might need a little bit more carrots to fill in the bottom. I am gonna quickly go ahead, start tilling this all, and then I will go ahead and put the water in, and we should be done tilling the land. There we go. Time to put in the water, and there we go. We are done. We just have to put in the carrots off camera, which should be pretty easy. But of course, that being said, I think we're gonna call it wraps here. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.